Okay, when you said in Benue, it appears that life doesn't seem to have any value. Of course, that will be to the marauding, suspected armed headsmen. I'm sure it's a very narrow group because life must have value. So these are the people that are giving this impression. But again, we're not just saying, we're not calling them robbers, we're not calling them bandits. It looks like we're specific about marauding armed herdsmen. So that gives a clue in there that these are the people that are, causing the problems in Benue State generally. I understand that you can't speak for the entirety of Benue State, I would imagine. But what do you think this, especially as we're emphasizing the fact that these are herdsmen, allegedly, maybe I should add, but they're armed. And, the barely 2 days after the suspected attack, as of Monday, we're talking about 23 people killed, and then another 7 that has led us to have this conversation with you. The 7 people in separate attacks in 2 local government areas of Benue, this time Buruku community, and indeed the highway along Makurdi Naka in Gwe West. I hope I'm saying those names right. Gwe West local government areas. So what is it a conflict between herders and farmers?
Let me tell you this for free. When some of us were growing up, even when there were no issue of clash between herdsmen and the community, the common and the local tradition was that if you have your goat, your chicken, your pig, and you want to rear them, you must keep them in such a way, a manner, that it will not destroy somebody else's farm produce. And that law was strictly a local, a primitive, a conventional idea that was respected. But here we have a situation whereby in Benue State, like you know, is the food basket of the nation. Mm-hmm. And being the food basket of the nation, the major industry for employment there is farming. And people live by farming, and they also farm to also do some commercial activity. And so, and the only instrument we have for farming is land. And so these herdsmen, they will come and they want to disarm people. They want to deprive people. They want to take both the land and even the crop away from the people. And taking the crop and the land away from the people is as good as you are taking their life. And so, of course, the former governor, in his wisdom, Governor Samuel Otom, decided to come up, use the Benue State Secretariat came up with what they call prohibition of open grazing in Benue State. And that law is still in place. Mm-hmm. So the idea here is that it's expected that no matter what it is, whether you are an indigene, whether you are a foreigner, whether you are a visitor, and you come to a place, you should be able to see how you can obey the law of the land. And if the law of the land, which of the highest decision-making body in the state, the House Assembly, if they make a law and pass it and make a law, and then the law stand, and they prohibit open grazing, and then these people are grazing openly, destroying people's farm, and then they do it with AK-47. And any attempt to challenge them, they will definitely take your life. And therefore, the responsibility of government is to ensure that the law of the land is enforced. And so if there's a law that prohibits or forbid people from grazing openly, which is even a common sense, that if you have reared your cow, you should be able to know that somebody who is farming too will have the right to have his farm product protected. So therefore, the government have that duty and the sole responsibility to protect life and property. This farm produce we are talking about is people property. And the life of individual they are taking is what is the primary responsibility of government to protect. So I'm saying that. And government, we have government at the federal level, we have government at the state level, we have government at the local government level. So, and the government, the arm of government that have the responsibility to enforce the government law is the executive arms of the government. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you for free, any society that laws are not obeyed, and when laws are broken and there's no repercussion, no consequences, I can tell you that that society is heading to total collapse. So I'm calling, of course, the state government and, of course, the federal government who have the responsibility and of course in charge of the armed forces to give specific directive that these people should be called to order, so that we should have, everybody should have equal access, equal opportunity to live. And then, of course, life and property should be protected. And if government at any given point they feel that they can no longer carry out that responsibility, then they should give signal so that people should not take their destiny in their hands. And of course, then that will issue of self-defense and issue of even legalizing certain arms should also be discussed. Because as I speak with you, these people move freely with the arm, move freely with AK-47, and then when they see any of our own people moving with knife or even stick to defend themselves, the next thing the security personnel will rush them, and they'll get them arrested, detain them. But these other people move freely. As if, when we're in school, those days, nobody, we are equal before the law. The law should not be fair to somebody, and then, of course, be unjust to another person. If the other guy have right to move freely with AK-47 without being arrested, without being challenged, I don't understand why the local should also not have the right to move with knife to defend themselves.
Okay.
So the government have its own responsibility to give equal opportunity to people to live, and it's their duty to ensure that the law is enforced. So I'm using this opportunity to call on federal government and the state government to mobilize the security personnel, and they should be very patriotic about carrying out this duty. Because I can tell you for free, Yuri, if nothing is done about this matter, people may not know. The issue of this insecurity and particularly the front attack is just like setting fire on a bush. You may set fire and you have a target or where you want the fire to consume, but you don't have control over how far the fire can go. You can put fire today thinking that the fire will last for only one day, but I can assure you that the fire can be there for 3 or 1 week. So everybody should know that if this thing is not arrested, even you who think that it is not affecting you directly today, you are the risk. And the highest risk are that. So I'm calling on the federal government, the state government, and all the government machinery, the security personnel, to specifically deal with this issue. The people carrying out this act are known. The allocations are also, it's not hidden. And they don't move in the night, they move in the daylight. And they move very freely.
This is worrying.
The government should live up to responsibility to save the life of the people.
Okay. You've just, in the past